Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ Group Tài nguyên dựng phim. Nghiêm cấm các hành vi lít về rồi bán cho thằng khác. Mọi ý kiến đóng góp xin gửi về Facebook Quỳnh Ngọc Tân.
Now let's take a few minutes and get organized in the media page. So we have our media imported here, and let's just take a minute and take a look at the ways that we can kind of organize this and set ourselves up for success later. Here in the upper right-hand corner, we have different views for all of our clips. And I like to generally look at things in list view because it gives you all of this information. Oh, baby. And you can sort all of your footage by any of these little categories up top. You can even right click and add new categories, and they just have a ton of them. This is stuff we'll get into when we talk about metadata, but that's a great way to take a look at any information that is available for your clips. If we want to organize these into folders, we can right click anywhere here and say new bin. And we can make a bin for separate scenes or whatever we want. This is actually all from one scene. So maybe we want to do something like wide shots, and that'll appear here in our bin list. And actually, if we go back to our thumbnail view, we can look at anything that could be considered a wide shot. I'll just boost this slider up a little bit so we can see things a little better. So here's a wide shot here. We can just drag those over. Here's a wide shot. We can really get more organized that way if we want to. And you can go as crazy as you want here, but that's pretty much how you would do it. One disadvantage of doing it this way is that to see all the wide shots, we actually have to go into the wide shots folder. And if we don't want to sort by wide shots and we want to sort by something else, there isn't really a way to kind of view them all. So instead of making just a bin, why don't we select all of these and we can drag them back to our master, and we'll get rid of our wide shots bin just by hitting delete. Now, instead of putting them all into a bin, we're just going to tag these as a wide shot. So I can select this right here, and actually maybe I'll control select anything else that's wide. So we have all of our wide shots selected here. And then over here on the right, we have our metadata panel. Again, you might have your audio meters up, but I like to just turn those off. If we make sure to go in the upper right-hand corner here under this little sort button and select shot and scene, that'll give us all these little text boxes, and we can add notes to any of these shots. So for instance, maybe for angle, we want to say wide angle. And if we have multiples selected, it's going to make this little checkbox here. And then at the very bottom, if we hit save, it'll save that information to each of these clips. And then we can do something like open up the list view, and we can right click and make sure we show angle. And now we can sort by angle by just clicking on this little angle header right here. That's a really nice way to do it. I'll switch back to clip name just to list these in alphabetical order again. What we can also do is I'll control select all of these. We can add a keyword. And a keyword is sort of similar to just filling in one of these, but with a special little trick I'll show you in a minute. So maybe we'll say wide angle and hit enter. And that will add that in that little rounded rectangle there. And again, I can go down here and hit save. And now it's tagged all of these, not only with wide angle under angle, but also with the wide angle keyword. Why do we add both of these? Well, we don't probably actually need this angle unless we want it. The big thing is the keyword, because if we go down to the lower left-hand corner of our media pool, there's something called Smart Bins. And if I click on keywords and twirl this down, you see it adds a little menu item that says wide angle. And what this will do is just show you the clips that are tagged with this keyword. And so now I can just see the wide angle shots. Now, how is this different than making a regular bin? Well, a smart bin is not actually where the footage is organized like in the folder structure of our project. It's just kind of a way to sort things really quickly. So you can have clips that live in multiple different smart bins, but aren't actually in any normal bins at all. So this is great because I can go through my clips, and this is especially great if you're working with somebody else. If maybe you're familiar with the footage and you're handing it to an editor who might not be super familiar with it, you can do something like go through and tag all of your clips, like anything with Gwen.
Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ Group Tài nguyên dựng phim.
And add her keyword. And oops, I didn't save it. So I can hit apply and that will apply it to all of my clips. So now any clip that I have with Gwen in it will appear with a Gwen keyword, and of course makes another smart bin down here. If I click Gwen, these are all of the shots with Gwen in it. Pretty cool. There's even a fancier way to do this in the paid version of Resolve, where you can actually have it scan for different people. In fact, I'll show you this. Again, if you have the free version, this doesn't quite work, but you can right click and say analyze clips for people. And what it will do is search for faces, and then it will show you the different people that it found. And so we can name each of these people, Isaac and Gwen, and it can show us a preview of everybody where it thinks Isaac is in the shot. Looks like all of these, and anywhere Gwen is in the shot. And then let's see other people. And then sometimes it has a hard time figuring out who it is. So you can quickly go through where it says other people and right click and tag as Isaac, tag this one as Gwen, tag this one as Gwen, tag this one as Isaac, and so on. And so now it tags two different people here. These are all the Gwen shots. These are all the Isaac shots. And this is a list of all the people. Once we've refined that, we can go down to improve people grouping result. Are they the same person? Yep. And we'll hit close. So now if we click on any of these and we go to people, here in our metadata, it's tagged it as Gwen and Isaac. You can't type a person directly in here. You have to analyze for people. So it's sort of an automated kind of fancy version of doing what we would do with our keywords, but there's absolutely nothing wrong with just grouping them with keywords. If you have the free version of Resolve, kind of works the same way. It's just a little less automated. And it is really nice to have an automated version if you have 60 shots or something instead of just a few right here. There are also other kinds of smart bins besides just the keywords. If we go under where it says smart bins, we right click and say add smart bin, it will pop up with this little pop-up, and you can basically do just a search and it will add anything that comes up in that search to your smart bin. And you can search by like anything. It's crazy. So you could do something like have anything that's just a good take be added to a bin and hit create. Of course, we haven't labeled any of these as good takes. So if we go to master and we watch through this and we say, oh yeah, this is a good take, we can go to our metadata and just click this box, good take. And once we do, that will show up in our good takes smart bin. So there's a ton of tools to get really, really organized here. It really depends on the type of project you're working on. If you're working on a project with, say, multiple different episodes with B-roll that's shared in between multiple different episodes of, say, like a documentary TV show, something like that, this might be really good to have kind of a library of footage that's tagged a certain way so it's really easy to find. If you're doing something like really short for YouTube, you probably don't need to go so crazy with getting organized. But one thing that I've been learning is that if I go just a little bit more organized than I typically feel like doing, it pays off. So the media page in Resolve is a really great environment for just setting yourself up for success, making sure things are labeled and organized for especially a bigger project. This is a page in Resolve that for some projects, you might be able to just skip this page entirely and just drag things right into the edit page. But the bigger and more complex the project, the more you're going to love the media page.
Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ group tài nguyên dựng phim.